So I was here last month, and I spoke about some of the stuff that we're doing, and just for those that weren't here, Black Tribe is an idea that I came up with 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and we put it together, and I put out some research, and I said, okay, I've done triathlon for a few years, and I love it, and I enjoy it, and I've been in the outdoors, and I hike, and I swim, and I realised, actually only after the pandemic, that there weren't a lot of people that looked like me that joined me. And that actually didn't occur to me until we went to a triathlon together. And I took some of my friends with me, and they were like, Kelly, people are staring at us. And I was like, no, don't be silly. Like, I've done this one before. Like, everyone's lovely here. Like, don't be so ridiculous. And then people started taking pictures. And we were like, oh, maybe they are staring. And then we saw our picture on their website later on. So we were like, okay, they were definitely staring. So I thought, okay, what do we do? What do we do to change that? So I thought, let's put on a tri. Let's put on a normal triathlon event, and that will get more people into it. So initially, my idea was, let's put on an Olympic distance and a sprint. Little did I know, Olympic to most people is actually quite scary. So that was completely inappropriate, and it hasn't happened to date. That was not what people wanted, but I thought, if I'm going to make this for people, I'm already happy. And the truth is, people like me are going to do it regardless. But what about those that are scared? What about those that do need support? What about everybody that's not me? So we put out a bit of a survey. We said, all right, I don't care what you say. I'm not going to look at who you are. Just tell me what you think. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you miss. People said that they wanted more walks that were a lot more accessible. Getting from walking to running was really important for a lot of people. Really short distances. So then we came up with something called the BTT special, which is a 100-meter swim, 10k bike, and a 1k run. So I thought that was good enough. Nah, we were wrong, weren't we? So what I then found was that the biggest challenge to triathlon for a lot of people of colour was the ability to swim. So then I went on this whole triad of, okay, so how many people can swim? What's the accessibility like? What are the barriers? Why don't people swim? Why can't people swim? So then we started setting up swimming lessons at King Alfred, actually. We started at King Alfred, I think, when we started. And then we ended up moving to St. Luke's. And so what you guys funded, that's what you want to know. So Active Sussex were really great, and they put on bursary places for children. But one of the things that really spoke to me after I came here was, it was adults in the room that voted for me, and it was adults in the room that really saw my passion. So I was like, okay, what can I do for adults? So as Active Sussex were covering the kids, your bursary covered all the adults. So we got 7 or 8. How many? I've got to think about who was in the club. I'm going to say 8. So we had 8 people fully funded, and we've got 2 more spaces that will continue to be funded into next year because they didn't get filled. So I'm not going to waste it, just carry it over. And a lot of that, it's not just about necessarily the swimming. What it's actually done is given a lot of people education. There are a few people from the community that came last month to listen to like me speak in the room, and what they were like, oh, I didn't even know that people didn't know what our barriers were. They didn't know that people weren't aware of some of the difficulties. They were just genuinely shocked. Number one, that you guys cared. That I think the fact that they saw that a whole bunch of people that have never met them before, don't know them at all, actually cared, I think that meant a lot to people. So what I've also learned in the last 2 years now is it takes a lot of people some time to like trust the process. So it's like now people are like, oh, I've seen that group. We're now 2 cohorts in. So it's like, oh, I saw that group do it and that group do it. So now I'm safe enough and I feel confident enough that I can join in. So we've now expanded to 2 venues. So we're still at St. Luke's, and we're now in Stenning, to give people in West Sussex an opportunity to take part. But I just thought, let me come back and share where we're at and our expansion, and actually what you guys' investment has meant to me as an individual. This was the first time that I'd ever done like a Dragon's Den type pitch, and now I do them almost daily, which is quite scary. Similar to the last lady as well. Like I wasn't a CIC or anything when I did it, and it was just like, now we are a CIC and we're a formal club, and it's just like, it's come such a long way since seeing you guys in actually a really short space of time. So it's testament to how much just a little bit of confidence from the community can do. So thank you.
Thanks, Karen.